All right, we are back to do episode 5, ladies and gentlemen, people of the interwebs, folks out there doing, organizing your closet, in a room trimming weed, out on the hiking trail, driving in your car, noticing all the businesses that are no longer there. We're back in the saddle, getting into the Jeff Hilliard Midlife Crisis show, the show where he enters into his storage space inside of his mind and just picks up, unpacks 48 years of trauma and then just starts doing a show and tell. Because that's what you do in a midlife crisis now, folks, is you want to fit in with the youth and you want to let them know how much of a victim you are, and that's how you get in there, okay? That's what we do. How's it going, Jake? Good to see you, buddy.
You too. Thank you. Pretty good.
Diversity's good.
Diversity's good. Redhead, being a redhead mustache man is paying off.
Yeah, soulless ginger.
Yeah.
Do you like that phrase?
I have no soul. I'm also a Jew.
That's good. He's an Irish Jew with no soul, which is actually where you want to be, because you think about the Irish thing is about as low as you can go as a white man, right?
Definitely at a period.
Yeah,
time,
during a period of time, and then Jewish people have just had it. These people, both you've had it it's been a fight.
4,500 year fight.
Yeah, so you're good. It's a good place to be. Now I was trying to figure this out. I do have on my mother's side, they came from Germany and they have a Jewish surnames, but I don't know if I am that. It would help with my diversity. I'll go ahead and claim that. They'll help my acting career before I get new ways to get canceled, where they can't cancel me. So sure, we'll take that on. I don't know if that's true or not. I definitely have the neurotic thing. I have the digestive problem. I have a lot of problems that would definitely say I got that problem as well, but I wouldn't, that's, who gives a shit? I'm 3% Nigerian, 0.3% Nigerian, 2.2% Portugal and Spanish. I am a person of, I'm a person of color. I've had, I look white, but I'm diverse, okay? That's where we're at. That is where we're at, dude. We're unpacking things. It's really good. So I know I have a lot of people wanting to know about Stacy. Stacy, the new addition to the Jeff Hilliard show, the future star of a music video short film I hope to shoot at some point. These videos I make, they take a lot of time to do. It's an expensive hobby endeavor. You don't really make a lot of money selling the music. I end up getting hired to act and stuff and do other stuff. That's kind of part of my racket. It's what I have. That's my thing that I do. That's what I'm doing. So I had a lot of friends said that they wanted to have sex with Stacy, and an overwhelming amount of people want to know, have I had sex with her? And so I was like, fuck, I gotta give it to Stacy, because I gotta be able to share the experience.
Give it to her.
I did.
You gave it to her?
Yeah, I did. I figured I need to have something to talk about on the show. And I have to tell you, going into the experience, I had a pretty low expectations of... I had kind of a negative viewpoint of the sex doll thing, of guys doing the sex doll thing, but I have to tell you, it wasn't that bad of an experience. It was pretty legitimate.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, granted, the fact that you're having sex with like a dead body, like if I was a necrophiliac, this is perfect. You don't have to get a job at a morgue. You don't have to go dig up dead bodies. You home run. You just get a fucking sex doll and you're perfect. But I was thinking it's a heavy thing. There's going to be, the whole time I'm thinking of the cleanup. This is a lot of work. I'm not somebody who wants to put a lot of work into at this point in my life. I'm 48 years old. It's a lot. It's a big endeavor I don't got that kind of free time, and I'm not that into having an orgasm. I think I've done it so well, so many times, with unbelievably amazing women that have no business being with this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, I'm like a girl's bottom. You know what I mean? Like a girl gets, like, she sobers up after me, and then she ends up getting the right guy and gets pregnant and have a kid, you know?
Bottom of her life.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And I got to go the other way. No, I'm being terrible. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, so I fucking, I just had to figure out how the hell I was going to do it. You know, fucking threw up on the table. I got the paper towels out. Yeah, right here. Fucking, I should have done it on camera and then talked about it. I thought.
Well, live talked about it. Like, yeah.
How it feels, what's going on. But I guess it does have the feeling of, you have you could do the pounding feeling, you're really giving it to it, which is almost has an element of realness to it. I didn't want to like, inside of her, I didn't want to get her pregnant or have to clean up. I didn't want the cleanup thing. I was really conscious, and I was more about that because this is the star of my short film and music video. I'm not trying to desecrate Stacy. Yeah. And also I had to get her consent. We had to talk about it, make sure it was good. So I was trying to understand, like, how do these people get so crazy about their love doll? And I could see it. Like, if let's say you've never had any experiences with women or whatever, I could see how they could get really attached to it if, like, this is their orgasm experience is with this inanimate object that looks like a person. So it made me, when I do one of my music videos or one of my characters, I like to go all in. Like, I fully commit to it, so I feel like I make it as real as possible. So that was a part of the experience of just, like, it made me have compassion for the character. That's what I do, is I make the project, the character, make it the boss, and then I work for it, and I'm like figuring out I'm a professionally trained actor. A lot of people don't understand that, even though I'm making what I do. Someone left a comment on my music video called The Cock That Heals, which is a wonderful music video. The title is pretty dark, but the music video, it's a good music video. It's a very detailed, it's satire. Some people don't know, younger people don't understand, I think, what satire is, because all of life now is basically a satire. So they don't understand that it's an art form that is exaggerating the absurdities and mocking behavior, and it's done very realistic, so you can kind of really have a different perspective of it. It's a very powerful, effective tool if you're into the comedic arts, which I get a lot of comments on some of the videos where I think there's a little misinterpretation. They think I'm legitimately that person, which is like, wow, how can you not? But I understand we live in a world where we've made reality television like the norm, which is almost like a bad version of satire, but these people are not in on the joke. I mean, the producers are, but not the characters in it are being clowned.
Or the people watching it.
Yeah, and so they just assume that. So I did my first song and music video I made is called The Pussy Pounder, which was inspired by a Bret Michaels music video. I was watching it with a friend of mine, and it was number 5 on the Billboard countdown. It was so bad. It was basically him singing. He was on the Rock of Love, and the song was about how many women all the women that he gets, and they were using like hooks from other songs, like He's Back in Black and this, and I mean it was so bad, and it was number 5 on the music video Billboard countdown, and it was like, we are just celebrating the lowest form of. This is why this world is so terrible. It's because we have no appreciation for the arts, and every single person now thinks in their world they're starring in their own shitty reality because they're now this extreme talent, which is what they are. So, I mean, in college, I was selected in a class to work with a guy from the theater, and I did characters on these things on studying the heuristics of communication patterns. And then we would figure out the best way to approach it, and we would act on camera. And then that's when I was like, oh, the acting's a lot of fun. I've been doing this basically my whole life. in school fucking around playing characters. And then I started taking acting classes, and I spent a lot of my life studying, acting in student films, doing plays, moved to Los Angeles, acted in commercials. I studied with all these different, I met an executive producer, writer. He put me in an acting class and a show paid for. And I first moved to Los Angeles and with all these working actors doing intensive scene studying. Did that for a couple of years. I went through Second City. I went through their conservatory. I spent 10 years doing stand-up every night. Like and I've worked with tons of acting coaches and acting teachers. And it's an art form that is like, there is a lot of work, but I'm not as talented, or I'll never have the amount of success of maybe a TikTok star. I will never have that level of skill set. And what I do is not probably the most appreciated art form, doing satire in 2020, when the entire world is like some nightmare satire we're living in. So not a lot of people are appreciating the absurdity of satire. So I got to keep taking it up a notch. But I just went on a really long diatribe about someone left a message on the Cock That Heals because they were upset with the fact that that this is disgusting, and anyone that would even like this is what, and it's like, man, it's like going to a movie. It'd be like going to see, let's say you saw Goodfellas, and you fucking are angry at Ray Liotta. Because it's if that guy, that's really him in real life. Like, listen, asshole, I'm playing a character that is mocking self-righteous, masculine, like the whole fucking thing, And the same with the Pussy Pounder is me mocking misogyny. And it's like, I'm mocking what you're so fucking outraged about, you fucking nitwit. You were 7 years old is when I fucking made this. I get the fact that now you're an 18-year-old and you're fucking outraged by whatever the fuck. I was angry about this before you even were fucking thought of. You fucking can't say that word. Yeah. Not that bright of a person, intellectually not very bright. So in the outrage world, I just wish the outrage would get a little more sophisticated. If you want to get outraged about something, why don't you do a deep dive on what the intelligence world, like the CIA? Why don't you spend some time knowing where all the tax dollars have gone for your parents' entire life? If you want to get outraged, why don't you go to the fucking Pentagon and start fucking throw them your outrage? That's some real fucking outrage. How about genocide? How about people? I could just go on for hours and days. Like, what? You're outraged. You're upset because there's a satirical video mocking the absurdity of a guy who's doing a song called "The Pussy Pounder," where a woman hires him and he literally shows up in a superhero costume and he literally pounds the pussy in the costume. There's no sex. It's just the act, as if someone was hiring this with such incredible fucking lyrics. Like I'm banging away on a wooden gate like in the middle of a hurricane. Now I'm going to poke your pie with my big railroad spike, banging away like a wooden gate in the middle of a hurricane.
That is you're a fucking wordsmith.
It's fucking poetry, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Save us. Come back with your alien spaceship. If I really would get that angry. No, I actually find it funny when someone doesn't get the humor and they leave some crazy comment. It actually makes me laugh. I like the fact that the show, I have no idea where I'm going to go. You just could end up somewhere. And Jake is participating in what it's like being mentally raped is what his role is. He's Ed McMahon. He's just taken it. So I've been on the other side of the being mentally raped, and that's where we're at. So what was I going to say? I thought of something, and I was going to talk. This is good. So I graduated from the University of Kansas, and Gordy, a friend of mine, Gordy Hoffman, his brother is the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's actually one of my acting heroes. He's a writer and a friend of mine, and so he participates in like the Hollywood Hawks or whatever. These are film students, and they come to Los Angeles, and he takes them to see like meet with Paul Thomas Anderson, meet with like all of these like brilliant people, and then he had them come meet with me, which I was like, wow, that's a detour. Like when you go from meeting Paul Thomas Anderson, and then you go hang out with me. I was like, well, but this was about 7 I can't remember, 7 years ago, and it was pretty funny. So one of the young ladies that was there, they'd seen my videos, and she didn't get the pussy pounder. And she was like, don't you think that, I didn't say anything. And then I watched all the rest of the students educate her on what satire was. And I would think, like, if you're a film student and you're graduating, wouldn't you have an appreciation for the arts, that you would get the fact, the obvious of things?
At least understand it.
Yeah, but
like,
we don't, it's not like that anymore.
No.
Everything is like this.
She was a film student.
I don't know what she was. A future canceller. So why did I go down that whole thing? It was great. Gordy's a good man. I was in the movie, the Dog Eat Dog, and he bought tickets for a bunch of people to go to the premiere. And I was in the opening scene, did my scene, everything. And he looks down the aisle, and he's like, you're a part of motion picture history. It's fucking a great moment. What a beautiful, beautiful, lovely man. Gordy, I love you. If you ever hear this, I don't know. I don't even know why. See, you don't know where you're going to end up. Yeah. Start talking about someone leaving some terrible comment on one of my music videos. Next thing I know, I'm going down that, Look, I'm having some problems. It started out with toothpaste my girlfriend gave me for Christmas. She gave me my girlfriend is, I couldn't have done better in my life. I've had a lot of like missteps and things and made a lot of bad decisions, but somehow I've always ended up with some of the most amazing women ever as a girlfriend or what have you. And she's, out of all of them, she's by far an amazing person. Highly, highly intelligent, extremely compassionate, loving, giving. I mean, just incredible. Like but she did give me this toothpaste, fancy toothpaste. Now my girlfriend is a first class person. She's she knows the finer things in life. And so I got this toothpaste, and it's called, I should look this up because I don't want to fuck this up, because this has been the path that it took me down.
Rembrandt?
No, this is like some packaged really nicely. I pull this up here once I figured it. Marvis. Here it is. Here it is. This toothpaste I got thinking here, it's like some sort of natural, like I'm thinking like the most healthy toothpaste there possibly could be. And let's just get into a description. They come with really beautiful packaging. Marvis, the Marvis brand story. Marvis revolutionized the concept of toothpaste. Straight from Florence, Marvis, a superior dental brand beloved in Italy for generations. Italy only makes really nice clothes, olive oil, not toothpaste. So right there, that's a red flag. People, my God. Marvis changed the story, transforming an everyday ritual into something remarkable, unexpected, blissful. Even suddenly your morning routine transports you somewhere, leaving you with a long-lasting, pleasurable taste sensation. Marvis Jasmine Mint. Oh, it tastes amazing. Basically, you're just brushing your teeth with frosting is what's going on. So, with the, it's fluoride-free, gluten-free, because you need that in your toothpaste, cruelty-free, vegan, and it's made in Italy. So I take care of my teeth. I'm into like flossing, brushing my teeth a couple times a day. I used to brush my teeth a lot, like to the point where the dentist told me to chill out because the receding the gums because I'm killing it so hard. So I had to get some dental work done. Everything was fine. I went and did after about, I think it was like 8 months. Maybe it was like maybe a while. Maybe I've been using the toothpaste for 8 months or so. I went into for a cleaning. The dentist was shocked. She was like, "What the hell?" And she's like, she couldn't figure it out. I had so many cavities. Then we got to the bottom of it. I told her I've been using this toothpaste. Told her all about it, and she's like, "Oh man, it doesn't have fluoride in it, does it?" I go, "No." So this fucking toothpaste, I'm probably $2,500 later. Like unbelievable. All this dental drilling I had done. So I had to go in on Wednesday. I don't even know what today is. I went in there, and so if we did like 3 more, like on the butt, it was not good. So I left there. And because of all the drilling in my fucking jaw, I don't know what's going on, but now I have, when you have that ringing in your ear. Tinnitus. I don't know if you have tinnitus, folks.
Yeah.
You have it?
Yeah.
It's just someone yelling in your head is what's going on. And all this is from this fucking god-awful toothpaste. So I had to leave. I'm not someone leaving reviews. I went on there. I gave them a review. And it's all got like these really high rating reviews. Like I guess they buy it and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm brushing my teeth with, it tastes like I'm having frosting. I'm in surprisingly charming blend between jasmine sweet floral notes and mint's fresh appeal for an intriguing Mediterranean harmony." You know what? You can go fuck yourself, Marvis. I would fucking punch you right in the fucking face. You got that? I'll go full fucking Robert De Niro, like I'm gonna beat up Trump. He did that. I'll punch you in the face. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you so you've been seeing the dentist for years regularly?
Yeah.
Never had an issue.
No, we did some
then
dental
had a
work,
bunch.
and then all of a sudden, I'm not someone that's had a lot of cavities.
So
it's the big thing was she goes, "Did you change like your toothpaste or something?" And I go, "Yes." And I told her, and she goes,
wild.
"Doesn't have fluoride in it." She goes, it's happened to a few of her. She's a professional, so
Trust her.
Yeah. So if you're trying to use super healthy toothpaste, I'm trying to save you from spending all this money on the fancy packaging, which is, I've been bamboozled most of my life, and most of my life is a situation like that. Here I am thinking I'm really upping my game. And I end up with like never-ending ringing in my ears because of it.
The link between nice packaging and then
that's where it fucking ends up, right? Here you think you're doing something wonderful, and then there's genocide in Yemen. That's what's going on, folks. It's fucking terrible. I don't even know. I just went on a whole thing. You know what I mean? And then I'm driving home. And I see this guy in a probably 88 convertible Miata, where he's got it has like the soft top, and it's like got some duct tape on it, and he's got one of those mufflers. You know the muffler I'm talking about? I don't know if it's trying to make it into a race car or something, but it makes it really loud.
Yeah.
So on the Miata, it sounds like, like there's different types of flies. I don't know. There's a fly that has like, it's fluorescent, and it's like sounds really angry. It makes like a really intense buzz.
Yeah.
That's what the Miata was out there on the road. And I looked over at the guy, and I'm just taking it in, after like the mouth, full mouth surgery. And I'm watching it, and I'm trying to understand, how do you get to the point where you're putting on the muffler, and what does that actually do for your car except make it sound really annoying? Or you're part of some Asian race team or something. Does it make it go faster? Does it get better gas mile? I don't fucking know. But I'm thinking it's just a real, desperate cry for help. And I'm looking at that. I'm not judging it. I'm appreciating it, because I'm thinking this is this guy's version of a mullet. This guy's living his mullet life with his Miata. And I'm like, this guy, this is a big deal to have this car. You know what I mean? And he's doing what he can with what he has. Not judging it. It's just one of those things you observe in life going by. And I'm sure that's what someone sees when they look at me and they're like, this guy's got a receding hairline with not much hair on the back and he's going full mullet. Now, this is a last hurrah, like he's getting the band back together and they're really going for it, or the delusion that's going through that guy's head. No idea. But God love him. God love that guy and his Miata. Killing it.
Yeah.
Fucking killing it. You know what I saw in the Instagram thing? There's a Rihanna has like a, I don't know if it's a clothing line where she sells like lingerie or what have you. And I saw her show. Me and my girlfriend watched it last year, and she had a lot of big dance routine, and a lot of these dancers and stuff were a lot of different sizes. The models were like not your typical models, like they were doing body positive, like people that would be considered, I guess, morbidly obese with dance moves. That's what you want to be. If you're talent today, you need to be morbidly obese with dance moves. Now, the one thing I'm really upset with the fashion industry, I do appreciate the diversity in different sizes with women that are bigger and all that sort of stuff. That's fucking great. It's really great. But years ago, I used to say, like, why isn't there anyone on the runway with Down syndrome? And it happened. My friend goes, you're not going to believe this. Sent a thing is, why isn't there someone with, like, cerebral palsy doing, like, a Gucci runway show? Why do you got to exclude them? You know, and I'll have to tell you this. I haven't even watched it, but I'm going to tell you right now. I will bet anything there's not one wall-eyed model, not one cross-eyed model, and this discrimination against people that have, you know, limited eye situation. I don't even know what the terminology is. Like if someone's mentally handicapped, if they're eye handicapped. And I think the discrimination against these people, visually handicapped, but I think they can still see. It's just their cosmetics. Yeah. And I think it's terrible. There needs to be big ad campaigns in New York, in Times Square with a wall-eyed or cross-eyed models. And why I've never seen that. And it's over with. Okay. You're canceled if you don't have, you know, a person who's morbidly obese, albino, with cerebral palsy that's also wall-eyed.
Who can dance.
Yeah, who can dance. Doesn't even have to dance, as long as they can move the wheelchair around. If you don't have that in your show, you're a fraud. You're an oppressive discriminator. I mean, sure, you'll let these kids make your clothes that are like, you know, 7 years old in China, but you're not gonna put these other people on the runway. You're gonna discriminate against the wall-eyed, cross-eyed models. It's enough. I mean, the fashion industry really needs to up its game. I'm sick of this. I'm absolutely appalled. You're canceled. Unbelievable. I hope to God next year we see some cross-eyed model becomes a superstar.
I think you have enough power that when you let go of the rock, it creates a ripple effect. Like you have a really heavy rock.
My audience of like 25 people.
Very serious audience, very progressive.
Yeah, you guys got to get out there and do your multi-level networking. You know, you got to get 5 of your friends every day. You're going to be the cool friend who turned them on to, wow, look, your life's not so bad. Listen to this guy. You're doing way better than this guy. Yeah, so I'm sure if I was to watch the Savage Rihanna fashion show, I would be impressed with their diversity. I'm sure I hope to God there's a lot of, I know that they've really pushed the plus size. They better have a lot of different genders. You need to have every single gender represented. Very important in today's fashion. I wonder if hopefully there was someone there with a mullet. You know, I hope they had some mentally ill people who have frontal lobe damage. They need to have people who've, you know, PTSD, you know, trauma survivors, suicide survivors, sexual abuse survivors. They need to have all those people represented. And if they don't, they're canceled. They're done. They're done. Yeah. There's a lot of weirdness. There's a lot of fashion world is pretty weird. I had a job. I've worked every kind of weird job you could think of. One of my friends, who's kind of a carny, I think got in the fitness industry, and he was selling these exercise equipment that, the ones that vibrate. The person stands on it and they vibrate. It's it's almost like a turn of the century, like just made up thing that's going to help you lose fat. It's going to shake the fat off you or something. It's that absurd. But it's kind of one of those things where your body, you're going to balance yourself while it's shaking. So I'm getting paid this is like in November, coming up to the holidays, maybe late November. I'm getting paid pretty good money to stand there for, I think, like 8 hours and talk to random people that would want to come up, and I would tell them about the equipment. Now this gets really good because we're on the 4th floor of Neiman Marcus. Mm-hmm. Neiman Marcus is men's fashion floor in down the Rodeo, Beverly Hills area. What's so great about that is on the 4th floor is a bar in the men's department, and they have like the bartenders look like they're definitely signed with some modeling agency. They're as handsome as you could get. Of course, it's like if you want to be a bartender in Los Angeles, you'd be very attractive. You could have had your career could be dwindling as a model, but that's what they do is they want to hire the attractive barkeeps, So it's like a gay nightclub is what's going on. So I'm in there. It's like on a weekend thing on a Friday, and it is going off. Mm-hmm. So it's a fascinating world of if you have a lot of money. Most people that have a lot of money are pretty fucking boring. They're like a generic person, off-brand, no-brand person, but they're wearing a lot of designer label clothes, trying to be interesting. And basically, most rich people, I've been around a lot of them, and basically their whole thing is just they become like critics of luxury situations. Mm-hmm. Like they talk about trips, restaurants, experiences, and it's all like a fucking status flex. It's all about flexing. Your only skill is maybe you had your grandfather owned all the real estate in Los Angeles before it became something. Like they just kind of lucked into something, Usually the person, the ones who've made it are kind of all about their thing, but they're usually the other people that are rich because of the right circumstances. Usually not that interesting. And those people are disgusting because someone like myself with those resources could really have a go with it. I mean, we could really do something special. So I'm sitting there and I'm just observing because you're being held hostage of the landscape of weirdness of a Neiman Marcus. If you're going to spend somewhere for 8 hours, you're going to really get into the psychology of what's going on. And these salespeople are selling clothes. They make pretty good money. They're hustlers. They got to develop relationships with these wealthy people. They come in and they jerk these people off. Now you have to realize that these people have no real friends. The people that think are their real friends are these sales associates that kind of know their life story. I think I may have mentioned this before. I wanted to get so wealthy that my only friend is my housekeeper who speaks broken English, and I suspect that she's stealing from me. That's how successful I want to be. That's how wealthy you want to be. And this is what you do is you have these characters in your life that just jerk you off as if you're something amazing. And these people get their ego stroked. They go in there and they just put on a bunch of different clothes and they tell them how great they look. And so this couple came in, older couple, and this is when this was years ago. This is like the True Religion gene. Remember the Ed Hardy thing? Mm-hmm. So this guy is probably this is an older couple. They're probably in their late 60s, and they look like legitimate sort of like clowns. I mean, the plastic surgery alone, the whole thing, these people I know they're being very hip and on the trend moment, but if you just came from a different time period or whatever, and you weren't following any of the latest circus trend situation, you would think that they were a P.T. Barnum circus characters. I mean, the plastic surgery where it looks like the person was in some horrific car accident and they try to re-put their face back together and the lips are here. And I mean, it is like, I think my mullet is a fucking cry for help. This is legitimate. It is like, that's the one thing that's so great about Los Angeles is that the desperation is so loud, it's fucking deafening. I mean, you can just, yeah, it's like that fucking intense ringing in my ear now. God, fuck you, Marvis. Toothpaste, fucking mother. Bamboozled once again. Yeah, so that's Los Angeles. It's losing its magic. It's been losing it. So that experience being there at the Neiman Marcus with these salespeople that are like really fucking good at jerking someone off, making them feel really special about themselves, which is an art form. And that's how if you want to survive in the world, you need to find very wealthy people and you have to jerk them off. That's a whole entire livelihood. That's how a lot of people survive in life, is jerking off the power, the money source, making them feel good. And when they leave, these people are mocking you and laughing their ass off on how lame you are with your resources. That you have all this money and resources and you're coming in there to get jerked off about how cool you look with the latest Ed Hardy t-shirt and True Religion jeans on.
Well, yeah, I just want to say that...
Say it, for God's sakes. You can't say you're going to say something and we do a dramatic pause for 20 minutes. Jesus,
what
are we saying?
It's not Ed Hardy anymore. It's like the Gucci written on the shirt.
Well, yeah, that's present day. Yeah. The one thing that's funny is the new trend, which I saw, is that the guys should be wearing skirts. I fucking love this. I love the fact that we're hopefully going to go into a civil war and there's going to be like stylish kids in skirts and with their purses getting ready to get in some street fights. They're going to... I love it. I love it. I just think it's so good, man. You're being so edgy because you're wearing lipstick and like a dress. I did that 10 years ago. God, it's so lame. You try to guess my gender. No one fucking cares. I don't care what you think you are. I'm a fucking demigod. Show some fucking respect, okay? I'm your majesty. I don't care what pronoun you're trying to fucking put on me. You think I give a shit? You didn't address me as your majesty. That's how I identify myself. I'm a fucking demigod. What are you? Sexually confused? No one gives a fuck, okay? I don't care that you want to fuck whatever. That's how fucking boring you are to think somebody else cares who you want to have sex with. No one cares, ever, unless they want to have sex with you. But that would be a nightmare because somehow the positive sexual experience would become some sort of public shaming thing because the person didn't do something right and now you felt victimized or something. God, how awful it would be to be a young person today.
You're fired up on this.
Yeah, it's just the world's, it's terrible. The LA's becoming, it's lost its magic. That's when it was magical, when you had these circus clowns. Now it's just, I don't even know what's going on there. It's just like a homeless free-for-all. It's terrible. It's getting bad. Everyone's moving. It's terrible. We're living in Armageddon. LA had its magic. There was a moment, let me tell you what it was like years ago. Driving down Sunset, Paris Hilton just released her adult videotape. It was going to skyrocket her to fame. Mm-hmm. Now, I was a man about town. I was out with these cool kids that adopted me, and they'd take me out every single night to all these different nightclubs, these guys that were nightclub promoter running the city type of thing. So I got to meet all these different, socialite, celebrities and stuff. Not that they would remember me or give a shit about me, but so I'd met Paris Hilton many times. I doubt she would even know me, or we've had a couple hellos, but I don't know her. Like, she's not a friend that we're sending each other selfies or whatever. I get it. I respect it. So it was that kind of money, that moment in Los Angeles where you're on Sunset and you look over and I'm like, and it was like in the news, Paris Hilton's thing. And I look over, I'm like, holy shit, there's Paris Hilton in her Bentley. And we make eyes and I can't help but I'm smiling because I'm like, wow, she's going for it. I mean, putting out a porno tape and that was, whoa. I mean, that launches an empire today, but back then that was pretty, I don't know. I mean, it was leaked or who cares? I don't know. But that was Hollywood. That was the magic of Hollywood. You could see, somebody, you could be out in the world and you could see pop culture happening right in front of you. You see, she looked at me and I kind of smiled and she had her head down. She kind of smiled I don't think it was, she was, maybe it was, I don't know if she was really excited about that moment. It might've been a lot to take in. I don't know. Poor thing, you know. That's the thing. That's a great thing about the magic of Hollywood. Another fine moment of pop culture around that world is I was with some friends and I ended up at the Chateau, which is like your fancy Hollywood scenario. And it was the night, I think that Britney Spears had just shaved her head. Mm-hmm. And I don't know at what point, if it happened that day or what. I just remember walking in there and she was coming out of the bathroom. And I was like, these are moments that I really appreciate. That's why I think that we do live in a computer simulation, because it's just too perfect. The fact that Donald Trump is making fun of Biden about wearing a mask and then cut to him having COVID. I mean, come on. I get it. We're in a computer simulation. I totally get it. I'm on a spaceship. I'm fucking going through this whole thing. It's been amazing. I've been thoroughly entertained. Of course, in 2020, Trump has COVID. What's he do? Does he end up beating it? You know, and then it's even more. I don't know. It hasn't been a dull moment. It's been very entertaining. Very entertaining. You know, I like when the phrase where you gotta stand for something. You'll fall for anything. And after, you know, I love the Q people. I love the Q fans. My favorite thing about the Q conspiracy, which a friend of mine told me a couple years ago, which I was like, this is so good. I was praying, please God, please let this be true. And I think that's part of the whole thing. You want to believe it so bad because it's so good. But it was that JFK Jr. had faked his death. Mm-hmm. And he's been working with the military he was avenging his father's death, and he's working with Donald Trump, and they got him elected, and the military is going to take back our country from the cabal that assassinated JFK, which I am fucking all for. I mean, that is like, please be true, because that would be the most amazing thing ever. I mean, JFK Jr. would have been, what an amazing, this guy would have become, he would have ended up becoming a senator that Hillary ended up taking that seat. He would have won. He would have definitely gone on to become president. 100%. Mm-hmm. The guy was everything. I understand the wishful thinking that you hope that, and then, you know, these people I think are being played, unfortunately. And I get the idea that Donald Trump is going to free he's basically taking down every single pedophile, sex trafficker there is, which that's, who's going to say fuck that? No. You know, especially when, JFK is going to step in. So remember, he was going to, the Mount Rushmore thing, JFK is going to come out and he's going to become his VP. Donald Trump's, Pence wasn't going to be running. It was going to be JFK Jr. was going to, I mean, God, that would be the most incredible thing ever. And somehow it didn't work out. And the whole lock her up and she's going to jail. It doesn't seem to ever happen, folks. We're all being played. Yes, there are people that worship Satan and they practice in satanic ritual abuse. Fucking horrible. Is Donald Trump taking them all down? I don't know, man. Is everyone in Hollywood participating in that? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's why I never had a career. You know, you got to get into Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, why not? I'm sure there are. Why isn't there? Yeah, of course there is. There's people that believe that Jesus has come back. Of course there's people that are worshiping Satan. I've seen the pop music. I get it. What's her name? Lady Gaga? Of course she is. Look at how fucking, yeah. Why wouldn't she be? Wouldn't you want to sell your soul to have that nonsense? No. I mean, that's like awful. I mean, this right here is where it's at. Right. This is where it's at, folks. Really terrible. I don't know. I love conspiracy stuff. I think it's great. I think it's good to understand it, but also be skeptical of it and realize everyone's trying to fuck you and they're trying to sell you some bullshit toothpaste that does nothing for you but fucking ruin your teeth. There's a goddamn dentist cabal of people conspiring to, like, we're going to dupe a bunch of fucking morons out there thinking that they're getting the best, fanciest toothpaste there ever, and they're all going to be at the dentist spending their life savings on getting fillings. I mean, I'm literally going to I have to, at some point, if I get really wealthy, I'll have these like veneers. I'll be like that 85-year-old person with like the most ridiculous smile you've ever seen.
Love that look.
Old folks' homes are going to be great in about 20 years from now. All the fake boobs and veneers and stuff. It's so good. It's just people are getting way too empowered. Getting way too empowered. I keep getting these like on the Facebook, they'll have like the people have like their OnlyFans type things. And these are people that I don't know. I mean, this podcast is a high level of delusion with me really jumping into my midlife crisis and really embracing narcissism and just jumping into this and doing this. There's a lot of delusion that somehow I'm going to have this massive following. I get that. I'm in on the joke. But when I see a lady with no clothes on and she's got her OnlyFans, it's heartbreaking because I'm like, no one wants to probably, I can't imagine there is a market that wants to see you naked. You know, there's a, listen, folks, not everyone wants to be, not all of us are like set up. I don't think that someone's like, is just dreaming about me naked. I mean, I like to believe that, but I just don't, let's get real. I mean, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of delusion going on out there. This empowerment's getting a little out of control. It's getting a little delusional. This poor lady, I was like, who the hell is going to pay you? I would pay you to not take your clothes off. For Christ's sakes, let's get into reality here. It's terrible. You got to stay in your lane, folks. Not everyone needs to be a porno actor, star. But I guess that's the world we live in now. Everything's the pornification. What am I talking about? Yeah, of course. They need to have undesirable. Like I guess it trickles down from the fashion industry. You have people that wouldn't traditionally think would sell clothes because they wouldn't be traditionally seen as physically attractive. You want to have people that are not attractive. I like that. Maybe that's what porn should be. A lot of, actually, I have seen, which I really like, when it's like really old guy. Or really old, like really unattractive people. I mean, that's when you're a real professional porno connoisseur. And that's what I was thinking about, like the real doll stuff. If you're thinking about getting one of these sex dolls, you know, I think you should do it. You could really focus your time. Like if you're into like crystal meth, if you're into like, let's say like VR porn. I have a friend of mine who told me he was so addicted to that and he broke the whole thing down. I guess you could do like the VR porn and then you could be like fucking the real doll. I mean, you could be really going for it. Like if you have behavioral personality problems, you have a hard time being with people, maybe you're violent, maybe you're abusive. I think these sex dolls are great. I think they should be giving them out to people. Probably make the world a better place. I think a lot of maybe women wouldn't get as harassed. I'm all for getting everybody. That's what the world saves the planet. It's going to get everyone one of these damn real sex dolls. It's going to be hilarious when they get them in robots where they're able to move around really well and talking. Maybe that's the world we need to be in. Where there's no more domestic violence. People trying so hard to, all the work they're trying to do to get laid. The people have created empires to get laid. It's terrible. Fought wars. It's terrible. God, what am I talking about? This whole thing is just exhausting. This being narcissistic, as if everyone cares what you're saying. I'm looking forward to, if Trump wins, there's definitely going to be a television show. It's the whole TV show. It's like, prove you're not a racist. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do, they're racist. Like you could be a black person on the show and you're still going to be racist. That's going to be the greatest show ever. I kind of feel like if Trump wins, it's going to get so crazy that the identity politics is going to be a multicultural trans person. And they are going to, the enemy is going to continue to be the white man. And it'll be like, which I'm all for. I think it's great. They're going to put them in concentration camps. They'll be like the Hitler for, like, it's so like anymore though. I don't know. It's so crazy. The world's people are getting so out of their minds. Every extreme radical thing is just going for it, And it's a different world. Like in the 70s, like they weren't so precious with the kids. I was when I was 4, I was at the friend, I went to like his school, like a church, I think I'll call it a lock-in. We had to stay the night at some fucking church. And they showed us, the movie they showed us, which came out in 1975, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck shows that to a 4-year-old?
Pedophile.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was, and as a 4-year-old trying to watch that, and you think it's real.
You do.
Yeah, it's but I think it's maybe it's good that as a kid I learned that there are real monsters out there. Maybe it's not everything is wonderful and you're going to grow up and be anything you want to be and the world's a beautiful place. I think I learned at a young age that it is everyone's trying to screw you, and I'm still getting fucked by things like Marvis toothpaste. Even when everyone's out to destroy you, you're going to still get that. And I sit there and I look at my my girlfriend's dog, the most beautiful, precious being on the planet. This dog she's so adorable and amazing. But the problem is we talked about before, where she definitely has some racist views, which we're trying to get her to evolve out of that. And she's got some classism issues. She has a disorder, I think like a body dysmorphia thing. But it's not your typical one. I know a lot of people that think that they're like anorexic, but they think they're like really fat, and they're not. They're eating, they're starving themselves. Hers is the opposite. She thinks she's anorexic, and she just needs to eat as much as she can because she thinks the wind's gonna blow her away. You would think in her mind she's like one of those UNICEF commercials. Remember those with it was terror? Oh, it was haunting as a kid. These poor people in Africa. It was like Ethiopia, and they had like the distended stomach, and what was with the flies? There were flies all over the place.
Always put the flies in the shot. Yeah.
Terrible. I don't even know. Did they import the flies in? Was that part of the stage direction? Like, what was that? It was just insane. It was horrifying. Horrible images. But I know that the little dog, she thinks that she is in that commercial, minus the flies. But she is food. She is just her one-track mind. This dog, the only thing it's focused on is it's like, what about me? Give me the foods. Give me the foods. We give her these like deer stick things. It's like a whole ritual at night. Take her out. She gets that. Chasing that thing down, tearing it apart. And this is a little tiny dog. It's hilarious. She's like still got the wolf thing in her. The most amazing. I would, if it got really bad, I could kill for her. You know what I mean? If I had to go out and had to rob, commit crimes to get her because she's addicted. We've created a monster. She's addicted to these things, and I can see where people could get to a point in life where they're committing crimes for what they care about, their loved ones. But yeah, we need to get her in some kind of therapy. She's got the body dysmorphia. I think there's a lot of anxiety she's on edge because there's some workers there working on some landscaping, and they're Latino, and she does not like, she's just screaming, racial obscenities in the barking language, the dog language. I know what you're saying. They probably do too. And then also other dogs just screaming at other dogs, they come by, get off the property, get off the yard, lawn. And you got to try to get a dog to, so she found the dog. It was like a rescue type situation. I don't know what happened. She's unpacking a lot of trauma too. Everyone's packing a lot of trauma, a lot of trauma. What can you do, folks? And if you're into, you got to get yourself a real doll, a sex doll, a love doll. That's what you do, folks. You can drive around the carpool lane, perfect for a midlife crisis. You announce that you guys are engaged. I think you should be able to, at some point, you're going to be able to marry a love doll.
2024. It's on the ballot.
It's on the ballot in 2024. That's good. I think that'd be amazing. Like you can start. Is it real? You can marry a love doll?
Yeah, you can marry anything you want.
Oh my God, life's getting so good. I was kind of thinking, I know that people are so freaked out by this election. And I've, got to the point of like, LA has kind of lost it. Mm-hmm. LA is like you're in the, it's like the started out as like a model. Then it became like a convention girl model. Now it's stripping. Then it's fallen into, it's just lost its whole thing. It's not attractive anymore. It's like basically a dude with lipstick on, who's now a trans queer lesbian,
and a mustache.
Yeah, and a mustache. For me, that's not necessarily my go-to, what I'm physically attracted to per se. But who knows? I'm open to whatever. I'm positive. I'm sex positive. I believe in people being empowered. I'm sick and tired of the discrimination and the oppression and the fashion industry and the entertainment industry of people that are cross-eyed and wall-eyed. It's got to end, folks. Disgusting. Disgusting. I need to get into selling things. Hustle, so you got to get a racket. You got to sell things. Folks, you need to get yourself a real doll, a sex doll. I keep saying real doll. That's like the most expensive brand. That's not what I have. I have, I guess it's a love doll from China. I can hook you up with the guy. I can get you where I talk to him. We're going to figure out what the affiliate link is. So if you see this video, maybe months from now, you'll see underneath it, there'll be like an affiliate link that you'll be able to get yourself the doll of your dreams. You'll be able to make a statement. I got to become a pitchman for the sex doll thing. Look, losers, winners, and people out there, you're sick and tired of dealing with the opposite sex, dating, talking, communicating, having to share your space with some farting, bad breath. What else do they have that would be annoying? The questions, the whining, the complaining, that's over with. None of that. You're going to get yourself an inanimate object, a sex doll, a real doll. And they're there specifically for one reason, which the only thing you deserve, because you're the king. You're the man of the house. You don't have to deal with some other human being. That's disgusting. That's fucking, that's so 2010. It's time to move into the future, folks. Get yourself a love doll and let people know, like, you know what? Fuck you, man. Humanity's telling me to fuck me. No, fuck you. I'm winning here in my Miata with my fucking muffler and my love doll. I've never been so happy. I am happy that I don't have to deal with your kind. I've never been so happy. Here I am every single night and day and whenever I want, just blowing loads all over the place. The mouth, the ass, there's no like, oh, hey, I'm not into that. It doesn't exist anymore. Here I am, we're making home movies. My Stacy has its own OnlyFans page. I'm becoming the adult film star I've always dreamed of. We don't really have anyone yet that have subscribed and is giving money, but I'm putting that on my Facebook, letting people know, hey, me and Stacy are getting on. We got some new outfits we're fucking going at tonight. You can put this on Twitter. You can just show all your family and friends. Hey, instead of like, hey, check out my penis, like flashing, fuck that. You're in action, giving it, just pounding away on this silicone doll. You are winning at life. It's 2020. And what are you doing? You're having the greatest midlife crisis ever. You're banging the doll. You're going to get a boob job. You're going to go in there to work and they're going to make fun of you and you're going to fucking put them in a lawsuit and you winning. Now you have a market. You're the guy with the boobs and the fucking real doll and you're fucking just tearing it up. Next thing you know, you got other dolls in there. You're like a fucking porn star. You got a Stacy, now you got like a Linda, you got a Roxy, you got every fucking, you can't even imagine. It's gonna be you with like 50 different dolls. It's like an orgy of you because you're the man that's banging the dolls because you've won. You're not one of these suckers that are having to deal with humans. You're evolved past that. So folks, check out the affiliate link or whatever it is underneath the video. If you're listening to this on a podcast, but you could go on YouTube, you could find and you could use that code, and you would possibly get a discount, and I would help make money to pay for the show. The character that I bought this from, I should tell you about this. I was kind of scary when I was going out. That's a pretty good pitch, right? I think you're.
That was amazing. I'm gonna buy one. Before the link, I'm not even gonna wait for the link. I'm just gonna buy that doll right now.
It's pretty good. It's impressive. Impressive. So this fella I ended up buying it from, I was a little leery online because I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna screw me over, and I was afraid that I would buy it and it would never show up, or it would show up and be like a blow-up doll. I would have been bamboozled. When you've lived your whole life as a fool, you're pretty much prepared for that. So you're not taking the bait as often, unless you come in a really beautiful package as some fucking fancy toothpaste. You think you're coming up when you've actually just destroyed your life, and now you have a ringing in your head for the rest of your life, and you can't fall asleep unless you have some noise to mask it. Now you've spent $15 on an app on your phone so you can hear waves constantly, because that's going to help mask it so you can hopefully fall asleep at night. Who the fuck needs to sleep anyway? Okay, back to the issue at hand. The most important thing you can think of is, what were we talking about?
Where you bought this doll from.
Yeah. So I found this guy that rented him out. So I was originally going to rent this out for the music video. Then I realized how many times I'd rent it out and how much it would cost. It was just kind of stupid if I just buy the damn thing and then I could end up selling it down the road. Would be the idea. So I didn't have to deal with all that. And then of course I didn't, whatever. So that's where we're at. Stacy's now, I've evolved into that. So I went there, because I wanted to be able to meet the person that's a real person. So he has a place I wasn't there really to try it out. My goal wasn't to I was buying this because I need to make my music video, a short film. I need this to make this happen. I need the prop. When I make those music videos and stuff, that's where I spend my money, is on the props. That's what happens. It's fine. I'm not out every night getting drunk. I'm not doing coke. I'm saving money. I got a more healthy habit. Buying a love doll. God forbid if they have to come in here like the workers of the building and they're just like, what the fuck is going on in here? Cameras, lights set up, fucking love doll on the couch. What kind of creepy? God, I wish I was as cool as it looks in here. It just looks like, what the hell is going on? Okay, so this guy, nice fella. Mm-hmm. He got out of the corporate world and he's so happy. He's it's great. This guy should have the whole thing is so great. He's got people coming in. Let's say that the wife isn't into having sex anymore. The guy doesn't want to cheat on his wife, so he has the doll. There's all sorts of scenarios. And at first I had to say I had a little bit of a negative viewpoint to it, but I can see how it can help a lot of people. You know, I'm compassionate to other people's circumstances and situations. Now the great thing about this guy, who was very helpful and really nice, is that in the garage area where he had the stored ones, the new ones that came in that people bought, there was a boxing. There was a bag that you hit, you know, and then on the table there was a bottle of vodka. Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy wasn't Russian. I was just gonna ask, was he Russian? But there was a moment of oh man, am I gonna get completely hustled here? There was a moment of but no, everything worked out. It was great. But I did like the moment where I had to have a leap of faith forward. And the guy's a great guy. Offered me a shot of vodka, you know, which has been great. If I wasn't sober, we could have probably gotten really hammered, and me and him could have been, you know, getting it on with the dolls and high-fiving each other, I guess. That's kind of how weird is that?
Like an Eiffel Tower, the doll.
Yeah, like you're in like a. Wow, world's getting really weird. Just think when they start it moves like a real person and it's talking. I mean, it's just future's looking weird, man. I guess it's I'm open to whatever. I mean, I have an amazing girlfriend. I'm good. Everything's good. But if you're out there and you have a hard time dealing with humans, people of the opposite sex, this is I think a great option. You know what I mean? I think you should just go lean into your weirdness. I think you should, make, your social media should have you with your doll on it and it's constantly telling people how you've never been so happy. You're trying to prove that overcompensating and do it kind of angry too, because it's kind of funny if you're really angry telling people how you've never been so happy in your life, but you're just inside, there's just this fucking psychotic rage. That is hilarious. That'll really get your point across, because you're basically every girl that's rejected you, you're giving them the finger like, I didn't need you anyway. It's a pretty funny scenario. That's what you need to do, folks. And then I could sell some boner pills right there. You could use the affiliate, because you're going to need that when you're because you're going to be having sex for like 15 hours a day. There's some guy right now, and probably some meth addict just going to town on his. You know what you have to do? You have to get like a sex swing maybe, so it's just propped up there.
Yeah, because you don't want to.
It's heavy.
You can't deal with the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're a bodybuilder, and I've been working out. I got the dumbbells at home. I'm into it. By the time I'm 50, dude, I'm not going to be wearing clothes anymore. I'm going to get that fit.
Yeah,
I'm going to get that.
I've seen you do it before.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna get so fit that I have, like the whitest veneer teeth you've ever seen. I'm gonna be super orange. It's gonna be a future look where I just look like that fucking 80s, just creeped out gold chain. I'm gonna look so good. I'm gonna be getting into vanity. We'll be in life, and I'll be a mirror behind you, and we'll be talking to each other, and I won't make eye contact with you at all. I'll just be staring at myself in the mirror. That's where this midlife crisis, narcissism is going to involve too. Completely orange. I'll be so fucking fit. I'll be so cut. People will they'll just automatically assume that I'm gay. That's how fit you want to get as a man. You want to be so fit that people just automatically assume that you're gay. That's as healthy as you can get.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I appreciate about gay men. They're like professional athlete fit. That's where you want to be, folks. That's where you want to jump into. But I think we've gone on way too long.
I just can't believe that people buy these used.
Yeah, I think there's a certain level of not giving a fuck.
That is.
I mean, think about it. There's people renting them.
Is a business for that?
Yeah, there's people renting them.
How much do they charge?
Like 100. I think it was like 175.
It's like prostituting a not person.
Yeah. 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 Trafficking love dolls.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
The world is beyond dark. It's confusing.
There was an operation in Las Vegas, he told me, that they shut down because these sex workers got so upset with it because they thought it was taking away business from them. So they shut the guy down.
Listen,
it's going to put a lot of people out of business. But the thing about being in the business of renting out the doll is there's a cleanup thing going on.
Doesn't matter though if you're making enough money. Like COVID safe Airbnbs. I don't know if you rented an Airbnb recently, but they have everything is COVID safe Airbnb. COVID safe. Like if you could advertise like a COVID safe fucking opportunity. Do you know how many sex addict friends we?
That might be how I have to raise money to make my music video. I just don't know if I could do the actual cleaning myself. I don't really want.
Get a cleaning lady.
Could probably do that. Probably get some lady that I drive around in the van. They come in and there's blowing loads all over the place. I mean, it's a problem. Men are filthy.
Yeah,
there's gonna be loads everywhere. It's gonna have like that light. It's gonna have like
the blue light.
Blue light thing.
Yeah. You do it in the house, though. They're just turning tricks. You got a line outside the door.
I've become a pimp.
Yeah.
You got like fucking 10 Stacy's.
Yeah,
Got a whole
Stacy
stable.
to shut the fuck up.
I start, wearing some cultural appropriated outfits that people are coming at me. I look like a rap star.
Yeah.
I'd have to do a new version. I'd like to do more of like an aristocrat pimp.
I like that.
Very sophisticated, driving around. I got the van. I got a van for it.
What do you want?
I get like a. God, man, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Wonder if I guess it wouldn't be illegal. You'd have you could have like a Airstream.
Yeah.
People just turn them out. You have to have the cleanup thing. You flip them in and out.
You get weird on the cleanup thing, but
I don't think guys would care, right?
No, if you're making 150 every 30 minutes,
this is hilarious. I'm going to have my intern is going to start pimping out my Stacy.
I love the opportunity. Economically, though, too, like you have to buy her clothes, but you definitely don't have to buy her food.
That's great. I know you don't have to do all the stuff that a real pimp would have to do. Yeah.
You're already upgraded on that level.
Then you got to you don't have to physically beat her or intimidate her.
She's lifeless.
There's a book, Slim. What's that book name? Slim. There's a book about a pimp wrote about being a pimp. I can't remember the name of it. It's pretty. Wow. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So you wouldn't have to do all that stuff. Well, hey, if you're an aspiring pimp, this is an opportunity for you. That could be a good part of your midlife crisis, as you could get yourself a stable of dolls.
It's a genius idea.
This is what life has come down to. You're coming to this podcast to really make something of yourself. You know what I mean? You're getting some unique ideas. You guys are great. I really, really love all the messages. I appreciate that you checking us out. Going to keep them coming. It's going to evolve. I'm going to have wonderful guests in the future. The show will continue to evolve, continue to upgrade. This is where you go if you want to feel better about yourself. Thank you all. Good day. Good day, sir.